That fun. Let's see what this does.
New decked out burgers. Well, there you go.
Get some glycosamine and some fish oil.
Okay, well, we don't have any fish oil. We need to get some articles. Probably have to go to Walmart or something.
Yeah. Well, they have a thing on there that listed it's like 320 pills of glycosamine for like $30.
Yeah. 30 for this, 30 for this, 30 for that.
Yes, I am well aware of that. That's fine.
Just
No.
one of those things.
Yeah. I got sleep last night.
We stayed up.
Not
really,
enough.
We stayed up really late watching.
Yeah,
shows.
I stayed up watching the guys that watch do the hiking and stuff. First cheers for the tests.
Yep.
He's got a better name for Joe.
Well, it's interesting what he's seeing.
He's walking across. He's going all these different trails and stuff. It's
Interesting.
very interesting. I'm watching him do a one from 2022 where he hiked the Continental Divide Trail from Canada to Mexico.
Yeah.
That's something. Yeah, getting closer, I think.
Yeah, they are. Been down for a while.
Yeah,
I'd say almost a year.
pretty close to it. Yeah.
to air quality, it's much better than it was. It's still not what I like, but it's better than it was. I just came in and hid
Yep.
in bed, basically. During that.
Yep.
So glad we got central air.
And an air cleaner.
And air cleaner as
It
well.
filters out that crap.
Yes, it does.
I left it on high that day. Just, leave that on.
Probably a good idea.
But that other one need to put in.
But there wasn't too much getting in.
No, thankfully.
Fortunately.
I didn't even think I noticed any coming in through my windows.
As soon as you open the door,
Oh yeah.
you do.
Well, it was also happening. There was no wind that day either.
Well, it was a series of days. Yeah.
The wind, if there had been wind with it,
Would have helped.
well, no,
Depending which
it
way.
might have actually pushed some of it into the house.
Well, yeah.
I remember that time it was like 170 something.
Yeah.
You could smell it through the windows.
Wasn't much I could do about it.
Oh.
Better in the house than outside.
Yeah.
So that's
Oh, yeah.
nice. Watch my fenders. Here we go. There it is. United and they got a worst case scenario. Okay. Wow, there was a lot of history covered there. So we could turn off our Verizon landline if we wanted to.
They can just forward the stuff from the number to your phone.
How much would that save?
I don't know.
No,
I think it's
worth it.
probably just better to leave it because we have another option if something happens.
Yep. Well, you could put it in your car and drive around with it, and it would still work.
Well, like you could take it with you if you're going on a long trip somewhere.
Or
Yeah, you could just take it with you.
Or if you're moving.
Well, yes, but I mean, if you're going to spend, like, say you're going to Alaska or you're going somewhere and you still want to have your home phone, which has all your numbers you've had for the last 30 some years,
Yeah.
then everybody knows to call you on that, and you just take it with you.
Yeah.
Or you take a trip to Florida, you just bring your home land thingy, shove it in the new house, and there you go.
Yeah.
Mind you, it probably wouldn't work too well for 911, but
Well, it would have to have a re-education camp.
would it dial 911 local, or would it dial 911 back to
It
here?
might go back to the nearest cell tower, maybe,
Well,
which would be moving if you're driving across the country, which is probably what they do with the handheld.
yeah. Well, it ties between the cell phone tower and then if you have like location thing turned on or something where it ties into your GPS or phone in like an emergency situation.
I don't know if the wall mount one has a GPS or not.
I don't know. It probably just pings off the tower. They probably triangulate it off 3 or 4 towers.
Yep.
Triangulate your signal.
Oh, train to be a pro wrestler.
No, you don't. No. You don't want. You don't necessarily want that job. You're on the road 300 days of the year, roughly.
And beat
Or
up
more.
every night. Yeah.
Well, yeah. It depends what league you go into. There's if you get into the professional pro stuff. I mean, yeah, you'll still get beat up, but I mean, you won't. You get into some of those lower wrestling ones.
Not as protected.
They more extreme wrestling because they don't have they want to, you know,
not as good a deal.
you could beat up a lot more.
Which isn't a good idea.
But yeah, they usually try not to get anybody seriously hurt, because although it can still happen, obviously, and people will be down for a long time. But even on the big TV production things, the chair shots aren't really. They look like they hurt, but they really, the other wrestler, right before the moment of hit, he like stops it, or it looks like he's doing a massive swing. Because they were talking about some of these wrestlers that got out of it, and they says, here's all the tricks. I'm going to tell you the tricks that we use for a lot of this stuff. It says, yeah, it still gets hurt. It still hurts to get hit with a chair, but he says when they bounce them off your head and the way it looks and stuff, it looks like you got instant concussion. But he says they angle it at a certain angle when they do the chair shot. There's usually a fake pad that's put on the back of the chair, or that chair looks like it's metal, but it ain't really metal.
Right.
It's like an aluminum chair, which has a lot more give to it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's.
He says a lot of the bats they have aren't really wood bats. They're metal bats. They have like a coating on the side of them, make them look like they're metal.
So it's a balsa wood
bat. It's more like a foam, like a hard foam.
Okay.
Or if they do they use like equivalent of a baseball bat, it's just a hard foam one. It doesn't deform like a foam bat would be, but it's like a hard foam. Or they use like a PVC pipe or something.
Right.
So it has a lot more give to it. It still hurts. He says you can still break bones with it, but you know. And there's always the incidents where things might go wrong. Equipment malfunctions or something. It's unavoidable. But yeah, they don't try to seriously injure anybody, because then that's a month time away from the show. It's impacting what maybe it was written for that year, or what was projected for that year.
It's gonna mess up a whole bunch of stuff.
It's gonna, if a high level athlete or wrestler gets seriously injured, then he's out. Well, you may have just been promoting him for the major pay-per-view event, and now he's out.
Yep. And that rains all over the parade.
You know, let's change that. Especially if they're involved in one of these major storylines.
Yeah.
You know, if it's been like 6 months build up to this storyline, and then a week before the show he gets seriously hurt.
That ain't good.
Then, you know, in just a regular normal match because something happened. Now you've got to scramble to figure out, can he still compete? Do we do an emergency match for somebody else to get in there because he's too hurt?
Rewrite something in it.
Yeah, big rewrites, yeah. But he says, yeah, we go in there. He says, we don't know from day to day who we're fighting. He says, if you're in a major storyline, you kind of have some idea. But he says, in terms of win-lose, we don't really know until like show-up time. Like you get there and you might find out. Or he says, the latest, he says, they had one where one guy was talking. He says, yeah, we were sure it was going to be between you and me and this other person was going to come in at the end, and all of a sudden something changed, and literally as he's walking out to the ring to fight the opponent, they have one of the refs or production people come up to him and say, you're taking the fall today, and the other guy's going to win. He's going to win your championship, blah blah blah. And then later on after the match is over, you'll find out that you know, next week you're refighting him to retake the title, and it's going to be
make it more dramatic.
It's going to be one of these things where it's going to flip flop every couple of weeks,
just to get money.
Well, it's going to entice these other storylines.
Yeah, it's going to
because something happened and somebody is injured now, so the storylines for like everybody in the whole show is being altered. Yeah. To keep the, you know, amp level, you know. But yeah, he says that was the weirdest thing. It's like he had the highest championship belt, and he had been fighting to get it, you know, and getting that level of stuff. And then he says, literally walk out after a week of having it, and he says, I was told that I'm going to have this for like 8 months. And he walks out and literally is told on the way out there, right before he gets in the ring, oh yeah, you're losing your championship today.
Thank you.
But you're going to win it next week.
Thank you.
But then a couple weeks later, you're going to lose it again.
Thank you.
Like, okay.
Yeah. Well,
but every time they win the title, they have another record on their win record on their history.
Yeah.
So now you're like, well, I was only a one-time champion, but now it's going to be the way it's going to in the end of 8-9 months, I'm going to be like an 8-time champion. And it's still going to list you as being a champion regardless if you lost it the next night. You're now an 8-time champion, which now you have some prestige to be there.
Yeah.
Versus somebody holds the title for like 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I knew it was kind of complex, but I didn't know it was that complex. The guys were really going into this. And they were talking about how much they got paid, depending how long you'd been there, what your sales were for. Because they all list this on like, you know, your own merchandise sales. They rate that on how much you get paid. Because if you're really popular, even if you don't necessarily win every match, if you're popular with the crowds,
you'll still make money.
You'll make more money. You know, not only will you make more money for the company, from the company, you'll make more money in your own personal sales.
Well, that's okay too.
Yeah. Which again, some of that cut has gone to the advertising of the show too. So, but yeah, it's not just getting in there to wrestle. You got to be your own, pretty much your own franchise owner type thing for your own, you know. Yeah. So. You don't want to get injured because that's time off, time away.
Yeah.
Time people might forget about you.
Yeah.
Some of the ones, the really big stars in the wrestling industry go off to do movies and TV shows, and they show up on all these commercials everywhere, and
that's what
they're trying to get more money. They're trying to get more. Yeah, because then they look better if they ever come back to the company for wrestling and stuff, and then they'll be in their own wrestling. If they're really big ones, they'll be in like productions, like regular movie productions that are done through the wrestling industry. And they've had some really good movies. They put wrestlers in the movies, and they do really good.
No.
Oh yeah, we were gonna dentist, or we called him up or something.
What?
We call him up for the dentist, or we go over there.
Let's go over there. It's probably the best way to do it. It was just realigning that mirror.
Oh.
Ooh, cramp in my wrist. Oh, no.
Yeah. get in and see an eye doctor too, all these guys. Yeah, I know.
Speaking of SRT and the cell tower.
Well, they depend on the tower, they own the building.
Yep. There's the old hippie bus.
Mm-hmm. All see is the hippy dippy weather, man. For all your hippy dippy needs, man.
Back in the day.
Are they open today? Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
It's a Monday. They might need to lunch. Drive up and take a look.
I know usually Fridays they take off.
Yeah, maybe Monday
Maybe
they're
lunch.
off
I
too.
don't know. Maybe
Sometimes they do that too, it looks like. So maybe they take a 4-day weekend or something. No, there's lights on inside. There's lights on inside. Probably at lunch, except for the
receptionist.
receptionist. You can try to go in there and see if you can get one.